from the 29-yard line. The kick is high, and the kick is good.
So he must have chosen the right two, wouldn't you say? He picked it out there.
6 plays, 54 yards, and the New York Giants grab the lead.
Well, hello. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to check out this video. And welcome to the Gridiron. And before I get started, I just wanted to say thank you so much to everybody who's been watching the videos. Maybe if you can give the video a thumbs up, or maybe share the video, or leave a comment below, or anything, I greatly appreciate it. So thank you so much. Thank you. I saw a article, a nice article. It's by Judy Batista. And she ponders the question, will Giants' Daniel Jones make Josh Allen-like breakthrough in year 3? Pretty interesting subject, so all right, let's go over it. You know, it's always, it's tough to, you're just saying, basically, this is what Josh Allen did in year 3. And then after this season's over with, after the dust settles and clears and all that, this is what Daniel Jones did in his 3rd year. How did he do? Is it on par? Is it below what Josh Allen did? Is it above? And if it's below, right, it's like, oh, Daniel Jones isn't as good as Josh Allen. I mean, it's like taking 2 running backs, putting them on different teams. One team has a good, offense, good run blocking, good offensive lineman, and the other guy doesn't. On the other team doesn't. At the end of the season, the guy that doesn't have good run, averages 3.4 yards a carry. He has 479 yards rushing and 3 touchdowns. The other guy averages 4.4 yards a carry. The guy with a superior offensive line gets over 1,000 yards rushing and has 12 rushing touchdowns. And you're like, this guy's way better than this guy. Is he really? Take me. If you were to hand the ball off to me, all right, and I played against a bunch of and we had, the New York Giants offensive line in front of me, and the defense was a bunch of kindergartners, you know what? I think my average would be pretty good, rushing average. I'd probably score a few touchdowns, and I'm sure my yards per carry would be pretty good. If you give me the ball with the Giants, okay, against the Washington football team, or the Pittsburgh Steelers, or the Los Angeles Rams defensive front, you know what? I probably wouldn't even gain 1 yard per carry. So it's if you could go back last year, okay, and take Daniel Jones and plop him on the Buffalo Bills team with their pass blocking and Stephon Diggs out there and all, and then you can compare the two, and just to kind of just say, well, after the 3rd year, Daniel Jones didn't throw 37 touchdown passes like Josh Allen. He only threw 26, so he's not as good, But all right, so let's go over it. Now, also you got to remember too, Josh Allen, his first couple years, his first 2 years as Daniel Jones, his numbers were inferior to Daniel Jones. Okay, Josh Allen's first 2 years, his first year, he completed 52.8% of his passes. In his second year, 2019, he went up to 58.8. All right, Daniel Jones' first year was 61.9. Then last year, the year he was supposedly regressed a little bit, he was at 62.5%. So he went up. His first 2 years, right, he had 907 attempts. Josh Allen had only 781. Josh Allen threw 21 interceptions. Daniel Jones threw 22. Okay. But Daniel Jones threw the ball 126 more times, and he threw 1 more interception. 126 passes, more passes, and he threw 1 more interception. All right, so check off for Daniel Jones. The completion percentage, check that off. All right, Daniel Jones. They say he had 27 games. I'm not saying 20. I'm calling it 26 games. The first game he came in was he was in there for like 1 series against the Dallas Cowboys, and that counted as a game. So, no, sorry. he was only in 26 games, right? Not 27. So in 26 games, he threw 35 touchdown passes. Josh Allen was in 28 games, and he threw 30. Right? Check. Daniel Jones, right? Yards per game. Daniel Jones, his first 2 years, 221 yards per game. Yards per game for Josh Allen, 183 his first 2 years. Daniel Jones. Quarterback rating, 58.6 for Daniel Jones. Not very good. I mean, a lot because of the turnovers, 58.6. Josh Allen, 49.6 his first 2 years. Daniel Jones. Now, Daniel Jones, all right, had 29 fumbles, all right, but Josh Allen had 22, all right. Josh Allen, I said, it went back to pass 781 times. All right, he went back 126 times less than Daniel Jones did. Josh Allen got fumbled once every 35.5 times. Daniel Jones fumbled once every 31.3. But but Daniel Jones was also sacked 83 times. Josh Allen was only sacked 66 times. Daniel Jones was sacked 17 more times. So in those 126 extra pass attempts, he got sacked 17 more times. He probably got hit, rushed, hurried, all this. So if Josh Allen dropped back another 126 times and got sacked an additional 17 times, chances are he was going to probably fumble the ball a couple more times. Now, if he fumbled the ball and lost the ball, just say 2 more times out of those 126 pass attempts, okay? Now, his fumble rate would be right on par, almost with Daniel Jones, right? So you got to give the advantage to Josh Allen, but it's not that much of a difference. Now, the thing is, you got to look at, it's tough to compare apples to apples and orange to orange, especially when you're comparing like pass blocking. Okay. Now, one thing they also did with to help Josh Allen was they got Stefon Diggs. I can't remember what his salary is, but whatever they gave him, he was worth every penny of it. He had a phenomenal season. Last year, Stefon Diggs had 127 receptions, 1,535 yards, 8 touchdowns, and he averaged 12.1 yards every time he caught the ball. Now, we got him Kenny Golladay, okay? But the thing is, with Kenny Golladay, he's a different type of receiver. All right, Stefon Diggs goes in the huddle and is like, look, I'm going to get open. Just throw me the frickin' ball. Boom. Kenny Galladay's a little different. Kenny Golladay stretches the field, okay? Kenny Golladay had back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons with Detroit. But in those back-to-back seasons, he caught 135 passes in 2 seasons, 135. Stefon Diggs caught 127 in 1. All right, Kenny Galladay's got his advantages to him. All right, but getting open 127 times in the season ain't one of them. So Stefon Diggs it was huge to the development of Josh Allen. Then we go to the the pass blocking. It's got a lot to do with it. I mean, we all know Daniel Jones holds on to the ball too long. He's got to do a much better job at that. I can't complain. I can't argue with you there. He's got to get rid of either take a knee, throw the ball, and take a whatever, a grounding penalty, whatever. If you throw the ball in the 17th row, you get 15 yards, whatever. That's not an interception. You still got the ball. If you just take a knee, right? You still got the ball, right? You can't get a strip sack. You can't throw stupid interceptions, right? You got to take care of the ball. So I got to give him, he needs to work on that. But if we go to the pass blocking grade, do you realize last year, right, Buffalo's Pro Football Focus, right, their pass blocking grade, all right, they were number 5 in the NFL. Their pass blocking grade was a 73.7. The Giants, you know what number the Giants were? Their pass blocking grade was 32. They were the absolute worst pass blocking Pro Football Focus in the whole NFL. The pass blocking grade was at 50.7. Buffalo. All right, let me rattle off a few guys here, and I'll show you what their pass blocking grades were. All right, see, these are the guys they had on their offensive line. They're 2 tackles. Darrell Williams, his pass blocking grade, 80 The other tackle, Deion Dawkins, the other tackle, his pass blocking grade, 79.2. So basically between the two, their two tackles' pass blocking grades were 80. Right? Their center, Mitch Morse, his pass blocking grade, 71.1. Their one of their guards, right, Ike Boettger, right, I think I pronounced that correctly, 59.3. All right. Their other tackle, they had a tackle that came in and played in 72 plays. All right, Ryan Bates. He was in on 32 run blocking plays and 40 pass blocking grades, right? But in the 40 pass blocking grades he had, Ryan Bates, a tackle that they had, his pass blocking grade was a 91.4. Absolutely phenomenal. I mean, stuff like that helps. If you gave Daniel Jones that kind of protection, I'll bet you his numbers go up quite a bit. Now let's go to the Giants side of the ball, okay? As I said, the pass blocking grade of the Giants in the 2020 season with Pro Football Focus, right, was number 32 in all of NFL. It was a 50.7, right? Let me rattle off some of these numbers. Their highest graded player on the offensive line was Kevin Zeitler, who's not here anymore. He's a 68.7. Matter of fact, 2 of their top 3 pass blocking grades for the New York Giants, 2 out of the top 3 aren't on the team anymore. All right, Cameron Fleming was at 56.5. Yeah, not outstanding, but he's not on the team no more. And Kevin Zeitler, 68.7, not on the team anymore. Their top guy, pass blocking grade wise, right? Good old Nick Gates, all right, 63.1, all right. But you compare that, our 63.1 compared to they got 2 tackles that had like an 80, right? Their center was 71.1. You know, that only gets worse from there. All right, you got Matt Parrott. All right, he graded out pretty decently overall, but his pass blocking grade, you know, to help Daniel Jones, was a 46.9. Then we got Andrew Thomas, his pass blocking grade, 54.7. Will Hernandez, pass blocking grade, 50.9. Shane Lemieux, pass blocking grade, 16.9. Are you kidding me? How are you supposed to complete passes with that kind of protection? Then we had Chad Slade. I just saw this, made me laugh, so I'm going to put it in the video here. Chad Slade, all right? He was in there for 3 plays at tackle, okay, last year, right? He was in for 1 running play and 2 passing plays, right? So the 2 passing plays that Chad Slade was in last year for a tackle for us, his pass blocking grade was a 0. I mean, holy cow. Rob Sales really, and Pat Flaherty, they got their work cut out for him. I mean, you know, it's kind of tough to, you know, to succeed, you know, when you got pass blocking grades like that. Now this is another thing that really kind of, you know, made me chuckle. I'm going to read off to you the top 9 guys last year for the Giants pass blocking grade. Top 9 guys. Let me know how many offensive linemen you hear in here, okay? The number 1 pass blocker last year was Casey Kreider, right? The long snapper. All right, he was 85.9. Dalvin Tomlinson, his pass blocking grade was 84.7. Number 3 was Alfred Morris. Thank God we're getting him back. I said in my other video, I said he was a very good pass blocker, especially last year. He was an 84.4. He did a good job. But once again, not an offensive lineman. Pass blocker number 4, Elijah Penny, 82.2. All right, pass blocker number 5, Dexter Lawrence, at a 79.3. And here you go. Pass blocker number 6, Daniel Jones. Oh, 74.5. Pretty good, pretty good. Then maybe you can put Daniel Jones, maybe he can throw the ball and block for himself, huh? Then we got Eric Tomlinson, all right, the tight end. He was only in on 1 play, but his pass blocking grade was 71.2. All right, then we got number 8, Kevin Zeitler, okay? He's not on the team no more, all right? He's 68.7. And then we got pass blocking grade number 9. Check this one out. Graham Gano, the kicker, 63.8. Graham Gano is better than any of the offensive linemen that we have. I mean, that's pretty bad. You know, that's really, really bad. So, I'll leave a link to the article in the description box below. It's a nice article. Check it out and all. Can Daniel Jones? Sure, absolutely. If it's not you're not exactly. You might be comparing apples to apples, but it might be like a Gala apple and a Macintosh apple. You're not comparing the exact same thing. And it's and to say Daniel Jones did make that Josh Allen-like leap if he doesn't throw for 37 touchdown passes and complete almost 70% of his balls and all that, I said you can give him the weapons, but ask Patrick Mahomes. How did it work out for him in the Super Bowl when he didn't have anybody to block for him? The high-flying Kansas City Chiefs, it was so bad, right? Their offensive line was so bad in the Super Bowl last year, the high-flying Kansas City Chiefs didn't even score a touchdown. That's how important pass protection is, pass blocking is. And the Giants last year didn't have it. And if the Giants don't have it this year, ain't no way in heck Daniel Jones is going to reach those Josh Allen numbers. And you know what? If you took Josh Allen and put him on our team behind this protection, Josh Allen wouldn't have Josh Allen-like numbers either. Well, as always, guys, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to check out this video. You guys stay safe out there and go Giants. Woo!